Yo, what's up team? Kia ora te whānau. We are doing a recap of our Limitless games. I thought it was appropriate to kind of like recap the games, talk about what went well, talk about what we didn't expect, what we might have changed as well, especially now that you've been to the place where we did the course, so the big venue, because for a long time lots of people didn't even know where it was going to be, and I think that was like part of the exciting part, but then for me and Ari it was also part of like making planning super difficult, but yeah. So anyways, we're gonna be doing this. Ari's got her little snacks. She's just had a shower. She's just on the coaching, so that's another thing too, is Ari's been coaching the classes as well, and man, it's been like such a relief for me to get a little bit of rest, especially with some of the early starts I've had with the Warrior. We are currently what's the date? Yeah, sorry, no, the date, yeah, it's 8 o'clock. The date is the 13th of March, so we're like a week after our games. Is that right? Yes. Yeah, so we've done like, it's been like a week. Man, it feels like way longer. But yeah, so we're like a week, so it's still kind of fresh in our minds, so yeah, we just wanted to talk about the games. Yeah, but kudos to Ari, she's been doing so much work with us, admin-based stuff, planning the games, planning a lot of other things, just gym related, and coaching too. So yeah, I gotta pick up my game, but it's all good. I'm gonna leave this with Ari, and I want her to just tell me, or tell us, what was your favorite thing about the games day. So you go for that. I'm gonna get the pick and mix. That's the other thing we're doing, is Ari got her pick and mix today. I don't know if you've been watching the story, but she's been super excited about those.
They're my favourite. My favourite thing, I knew you were going to ask me this question, and I don't know, I struggle because there's top three. Okay. Top three would, well, one of them would definitely be the location. I think it was stressful, but it was also really handy and nice and exciting to have it away from the gym. Yeah, it was literally such an epic location. Like, I can't get over how beautiful it was, and the weather gods thankfully turned it on for us.
Yeah, super awesome day.
Another thing was probably just the variety of competitors that we had. So we had athletes who had been training under CAS or elsewhere for a while now. So it was really cool to have teams like that. But there were also people who had only just started training with CAS in the garage, the mums, and then they were out there, giving it a go. We also had guys who had, and females who had just completed Warrior, so they were only with us for 5 weeks, and then opted to jump in. Some people only 3 weeks. Like Calvin and he decided to jump in. So it was just cool to see all these different people push themselves out of their comfort zone. Yeah, I think those would be my favourite. And just to see how hard everyone went. It was really exciting for us as judges because you didn't know who was going to win. Like, everyone was so close. It was really, really cool.
I think I'm like you. There's like so many things that day that were just really cool, you know? Yeah. It's really hard to put your finger on just one of them. So yeah, like kudos to all the judges and the people that helped organize it. Like, if we think back to, I'm very vision orientated, so I have like really good vision about things that I can kind of see them coming to fruition before it happens. So things like Warrior, when we did our 6-week challenge, we did Limitless Games last year, this year, and what I'm going to is that when we first spoke to Mike and Jen about this, Mike and Jen own that place up there. It's massive. They actually invited just us and our family to come and train. So the first time we spoke about actually going there, and we had never been there, they were just like, oh, yo, we've got like a rig and some weights. And to us, we were just like thinking of this little garage setup with like a little bit more space, you know? And we were like, oh, cool. Yeah, we'll come and have a look at it. And yeah, so they were like saying, you know, you should come up and have a train with us. I think it would be really fun. You can test out some of our stuff. show us some of the things that we can do in our programming, blah blah blah. And I just, in my mind, something clicked, and I was just kind of like, what? How big is the space? You know, because he was saying, you know, you could do a river run, and when he said that, I just started thinking straight away, like, how many people can I get up there? Because I was like, I really want to run something like that that's off the charts. And he was like, oh man, we can fit quite a few people. And I was like, could you get like 40 people up there? And that's when he was like, yes, yeah, we could definitely fit 40 people. And then I just asked him, bro, can we run the Limitless Games there? I would love to run it there. I think it would be so epic. No one else does this up here. It would just be crazy for our gym to be able to do that. What do you reckon? And they were just on board straight away. And I remember the first couple of days after that, just thinking about it and talking to Ari, I was just so excited. So the excitement that everyone felt on the day, turning up and seeing that, that's what I could see in my head when I first spoke to Mike. So when I was here for months, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so much fun. So yeah, so what actually happened on the day was like exactly what I saw happening in terms of like how people would be surprised, the events we were going to be able to run there, just the space itself, you know, like all these things that I just had seen straight away as soon as he said like we can have like a massive group of people out in the middle of nowhere doing training. And yeah, so for me, that was like the pinnacle of me going like, oh my gosh, we finally actually got there and did it. And then there's this photo of me and Ari sitting at the pool at the end of the day, and it was almost just like the massive come down after it, because our minds had been like, oh, we could do this for so long that, you know, that moment for us was just like, boo, and I was like, oh wow, I can't believe we just did that. So I think we're still like a little bit in shock, to be honest, that like how well the day went, how fun it was, that we actually did that. Because that was like a real big stepping stone for us, eh?
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, so that's like the main thing is like, man, everything just worked. And then the day as well, because we chose the date together knowing that in March, it's probably going to be sunny, you know, like, so we didn't know that the weather was going to be so bad throughout the whole of summer. And we actually kind of worried about it the first few weeks, or the last few weeks, sorry, going into it. But when we first thought of this, we were like, let's put it in March. Like, it's away from February, so everyone's kind of getting back into the groove of thing. January would be terrible because everyone would be at holiday, so March would be just right, sun will be out, blah, blah, blah. And it just happened to go that way, so we are so lucky. But yeah, I feel like the massive recap on the games was literally all of the planning and thinking ahead of time and seeing it actually happen. Was super cool. What was some things on the day for you that you felt like this wasn't good or this could have been done better? What were like a few things that you noticed, or if there was anything at all?
It was probably just me. I should have probably just handed, like, people were offering, you know, to help me here, there, but yeah, I guess, yeah, for me it's probably giving or jobs and responsibilities out, yeah, small stuff. I mean, but got there in the end. It didn't matter too much, but yeah, potentially that could have.
Do you reckon it's because people were volunteering that it made you feel like?
Yeah, like I didn't want to
give them extra. Yeah, work.
Give them extra work when they were already doing so much for us already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a major problem that we both have, to be honest. Is it's like really hard to make people do stuff, or it's really hard to get people involved with what we do and with the business, because we're like, you're not going to get paid for this and you're working as a volunteer, but they don't really care. Like, I know you guys, you're not really like bothered by it, but I guess that's how our minds think. So I've had people like offer to help me clean and that before, and I mean, some days it's cool, but I don't really want you guys to have to do that, or I don't want like people that are part of the gym to have to do that unless that's our job, or if we bring on like an intern or something. But yeah, so I can see your point of view on like why you wouldn't want to give more responsibility to other people. What was your favorite event?
Oh, event one.
Please elaborate.
Definitely event one. I like lost it probably as heat one started to run away. So, yeah.
My man, I love you.
It was a lot of squats. And so they had, 8 minutes of squatting, was it? 8 minutes of squatting. And
8 minutes of synchro squatting. I reckon that makes it harder. Because you can't just go at your own pace.
Yeah.
Alright, sweet. So we're holding it like that. So 2 people will be squatting body weight, 2 people will squat like that, and we'll synchro at the top. So we go 1, 2, 3, go squat, and that's 1. Alright?
You gotta wait for people. You gotta get your timing right. You're kind of like slowing your squats down.
Yeah.
And you're making sure you hit
Yeah.
So it's just like.
So it was going from the squats and then watching people attempt to run, because there was a run, how long? 300 metre run or so?
Not enough.
Straight after that. So that was probably my favourite event.
Why? What happened? What happened to those poor people?
It was just...
I'm going to play the clip right here too.
I don't think I've ever seen it before. So I just couldn't control myself. But yeah, it was just...
eyes watering up.
They just had no control in their legs. And so I was just losing the plot watching them. But no, it was really cool. And then, yeah, so that was my favourite event. What about you?
So your favourite event was watching people hurt themselves, pretty much. Actually, I have seen that before, because not that exact same event, but something very similar. What they had to do was, I was at this event, what is it called? Mekon Madness. I'm pretty sure that's it. That's up in Auckland. And I was working there for Musashi, and there was this one event that they had to do in their teams of 4. And to start the event, they had to sprint. I think it was 200 meters. It could have been less, but pretty much you sprint right down to the end of the field and back. And then when they get back from the sprint, they had to push a sled. The sled was not a normal size sled that you see at our gym, where the handles sit this high. It was literally like pushing something along the ground. So I don't know if you've seen those other smaller sleds, and they're literally like a few inches off the ground. You just have little rails on them. I'm pretty sure it was empty. I don't think it had any weight on it, but they had to push it for the same distance. In that sled position, they sled right out to the same distance and back as well, but they wouldn't finish on the sled. They'd finish about 15 meters away. Then they'd get off the sled and attempt to run back, and literally everyone was just like, after pushing the sled, it was like their legs were like this. And it was just, honestly, it was like they were possessed or something. It was so funny to watch. And everyone was just spectating along, was just cracking up, because they're trying to win, right? They're coming off the back of the sled and your legs don't work. And like people were falling flat on their face and then having to crawl the rest of the way. Best event ever. I really want to reenact something like that. So we might do that at the Limitless Games. So if you see that in the thing, you're going to be like, screw you guys. Can't believe you're making us do this. But yeah, so I have seen that before. So when we saw it again, it just gave me flashbacks of that moment. But when I designed that one, it was kind of a workout where I was thinking, if you were a smart person and you'd listen to the videos that I said about how the point system work, you would have been like, guys, screw this one. Who cares about it? Like, let's just not waste our time doing so many squats, because I think one of the best teams that they didn't even win, at that event, they did like 8 sets or 7 sets of 20. I think it was maybe Ben's team.
No.
They did about 8 sets.
They did about 10.
But they did more than that.
Yeah.
See? And it still cost them. You should have done less. But that's what I mean. Is like you only get 1 point per section, which means that you're only going to take maybe 10 points into the next thing. You'd be better off saving yourself so you're not so screwed, and then focusing more on getting, like if you do clean and jerks for 80 reps, you're going to get way more points than just 10 points versus those other ones. Anyways. Smart person would have figured that out. And then you would have known, I need to save my legs for the assault bike, because
But also at the same
calories
time,
per.
people didn't know how they were being judged.
Yeah, I did. I told them.
Oh.
I told them that's how the points worked. Pretty sure. Run it back. But yeah, so, and then my thing with the assault bike was points per calories. So that would have been where my target was. I would have just been like, I'm going here.
But they were also close anyway, so you kind of needed them to, you needed to be close. Otherwise, that would have been...
Yeah, but if I guess from my point of view, I would have been like, if I save myself a little here, I can make up for it there. Do you know what I mean? So I could do more cleans, I could do more assault bike.
That's something you've got to risk, though.
These are the risks we take, people.
I'd be going for those wobbly legs.
What other pick and mix stuff do you have? What's your go? What did you get yourself? She didn't ask me about these, by the way. She just went and bought them and assumed that I'd like these flavors.
I know you like gummy lollies, so... But my favourite lollies are the ones coated in sugar, those ones over here, like the worms and stuff like that. So I got that mixed with just gummies, so 50-50.
And then what's the other one?
And then the other one is a chocolate mix. You've got what looks like pineapple lumps, Jaffas.
This is not an ad, by the way. We're just discussing. We only just got these this afternoon, and I was just thinking, like, oh man, I just want to have a couple. and I like doing like little things like this on our vids. But yeah, check those out. Those look good. I really loved the clean and jerk. I thought it was really cool to watch everyone push themselves on that. And I think with the clean and jerk, because the best thing about clean and jerk and the last one was that we were all there. But with the clean and jerk, everyone was there for the whole event. So it was like there was heaps of spectators because the second group's pretty much standing there strategizing. Like while they watch, they're just watching the judges, watching how everyone goes, watching where it looks like it's going to be hard, etc. And the first group's just like going as hard as they can. And that was like such an awesome vibe. And then the third event for me was really cool because it had lots of components. So I just liked it. I like the complexity and things. And that one, you had to figure out, oh, I got to do so much assault bike. But then everyone was really close together on the points. So it was like, I also have to make sure that I get someone down to the bottom or a couple of us down to the bottom to get more points. Because if they ran the whole way, they got more points by bringing back the lollipop instead of the candy cane, which is just a further run. But man, it was so much further. And it had a double hill. So if you ran the halfway, you had a bit of a hill, which was still pretty terrible. But if you ran the whole way, you had another hill pretty much the same size as the first one. And those hills were definitely 100 meters at least for just one of them, and there was two of them along the way. And then you'd have to run down into the water and then run back up it again. I don't know, it would be worse running down it or up it. It just depends on how strong your legs are. Going up will be pretty terrible, but then going down, you have to slow yourself down. You've just got off an assault bike. Your quads are firing, you know. It's still pretty terrible. I feel like going up, you're just smashing the calves. Yeah.
It sort of helped. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. It looked like that anyway. Like some were kind of wobbly down that first bit, but then once they kind of got into the motion,
Yeah.
they were away. And some people killed that run, like killed it.
Yeah, super fast. But yeah, so I really liked event 3, and then it also had a component at the end, which was mental or physical challenge. So I think for both me and Adi, we would have gone physical. I think just to save ourselves, because we know we could probably have done whatever physical challenge it was, but the mental ones were like, oh, if you didn't know the answers, you were screwed, so you just wouldn't get the points for that one. But I really enjoyed that event 3. That was probably my favorite one.
There was a team that got, there was a few that got the mental challenges.
But then there was some that just couldn't get it at all, like the trivias and the riddles.
Yeah, I think there was it undecided bullers that they answered the question like 1 second after the time cap. Yeah.
Unlucky else. Okay, what are some things that you would change if you were to do that event again?
Probably have more people helping the organisation of it.
Yeah. Better to have more than less, eh?
Yeah.
And we felt like we had a lot, remember? Remember we were talking about it? We were like, I feel like this is a good amount.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't mean in terms of that. I think in terms of, like, running it, like, actually organising the actual day.
Oh,
like,
right.
Yeah,
we
not
did that by ourselves.
you and I. Yeah.
No, we did the whole thing by ourselves, and then literally in the last, like, week or so, we had a little bit of input, and then the only other people helping us with the event was, like, organising side, was Mike and Jen, which they just did, like, all of the work pretty much, and then we just did all the thinking.
Yeah. And that would then allow for more teams, because I think if we had more teams, would be epic.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of torn on that, because I kind of feel like if there's too much, it takes away it kind of like takes away the intimacy of just our small group.
But
I feel
would
like
love, oh, what?
I think it would be mean if it was just all of our gym.
Well, that's what I was about to say, is that I would love an event where everyone from the gym is involved. Yeah, I just think that would be really, really cool. Like we've had, I think around, each time we've had about...
Pretty much about 50.
50, yeah.
50 competitors. Yeah, that would be awesome if everyone got involved. Some people just didn't come because they couldn't make it.
Yeah,
so,
and that happens. Like
yeah, that's the hard thing. I think at the next event, I will probably invite some good friends of ours that are at a gym up in Kirikiri. They're real cool. So I feel like when me and Adi started doing these Limitless Games, our mindset was that we didn't want people to feel intimidated to do the games. So we were like, how can we make it so that it's just our crew in there, and it's nothing against other gyms. Like I would love to have more gyms come and join us and make a massive day of it, but it's more around the fact that I know how people are just going to our gym and how hard it is to turn up some days just to do their own training. So if you put other gyms into the mix, they'd probably feel a little bit more intimidated. I don't know, but that's why we avoided like asking gyms that are local and asking other people to come and jump in as well. But
just trying to like push people out of their comfort zones,
get you out of the
but
comfort
in
zone
a
first.
safe space, because
Out of your comfort zone, inside of our comfort zone.
literally.
It's like a comfort zone within a comfort zone. Because everyone.
I forgot where I was going with it.
We've got some cool friends that run like pretty much what we do up in Kirikiri, and so they're probably like one of the only gyms that I would think about inviting, and it's only because we're real similar. I know the trainer really well. We're real good mates and that, and then maybe just like a couple of friends from some other gyms that are local too that everyone kind of knows already. That's probably like as far as I'd go, but I also love the intimacy of it being like only 50 or 60 people too, because I just feel like that's real cool if you just have like a real select few doing it.
Each games though, we've always had like a handful of outsiders.
Yeah. Of just
like
people
friends
from
of
other
friends
gyms
from our gym, or
yeah, and they've been cool too. I'm not saying that like other gyms wouldn't be cool. It's more around the fact that like I feel like if we had one team from another gym, that would be manageable from an intimidation point of view.
Yeah.
Even if they were a gun. Well, I guess we did with like Ben in that. So in this games we had like Ben's team.
Yeah.
So none of them are members with us, but they train with us, and so that makes it like a little bit easier. Everyone knows Ben, and people have seen Carly and that around before, and we got some cool feedback from them as well. The only thing that I thought that could have been better to cherry pick was probably the music. I just felt like if it was just a little bit louder and we had like a proper speaker, then that would have been really cool. So we might have to hit up the big B to come and help us DJ at the next one. Even if we do it at Athlete Factory, I still would like it to just be really loud, because I feel like that changes the whole environment when it's already a buzz in there doing the workout, etc. But when you can like feel the bass of the music while you're training, that's something about that just makes you kind of train a different or compete a little bit different when you can kind of feel the music doing this stuff as well. So I feel like that would add like a whole different level if we did that at the next Limitless. The next one is going to be in gym, so I've already made plans for it. We're kind of looking for like late winter, but I've already made plans for it to be at the gym, just to kind of switch things up, and then maybe if we're allowed again next year, we might do another one outside, because that was pretty cool. The recap, that was pretty much the recap. Have you got anything else to add? Anything you can think of?
Just that it was mean.
Just that it was mean. Yeah, we're trying to get some.
I thought the colour thing for the teams was
so
really cool, because everyone, it was just really cool to see blocks of people in their colour with their team. That
was another thing that I thought of. No, I'm not saying it like that. No, that's another thing that when we planned our day, because in the past we've always done dress up.
Yeah.
So even at the last gym that I worked at, it was just always dress up, which was cool and it's fun and stuff. But it's like when we did this one, I had in my mind this idea of like everyone wearing our branding. So wearing like TCT, but I thought it would be cool to have like the name of our games, which is Limitless, and then have Limitless on there and have the little TCT emblem and the 2023 as well, because then it also becomes like real sentimental. You know, like that shirt's like gonna have all your memories attached to it, etc.
And it will definitely for Luke John.
Luke John will never live down his podium. But yeah, I thought it was so cool. There's actually a real cool photo of everyone where they're running, and like there's the orange team, and there's like a green team and a grey team, and just like all of the Limitless signage all over their backs and stuff. So I thought that was really cool as well. I think the coloured theme's pretty cool.
It is cool.
You know, but even if we did like same colour, so everyone just wore the same colour, but just the little signs that you get, the marathon stickers.
Yeah, true.
That would be pretty cool. You could do like individual ones.
Yeah.
Team 58. Shout out to Andy and Alex Howard, Team 5%. Go like this. Yeah. Oosh. That's what they do. Anyways, yeah, we'll be looking at doing Limitless very soon. Sorry, I made you do that.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll be trying to plan out some more stuff like that. Adi's been doing a heck of a job coaching. Round of applause for her. To see her in the gym, and I would shy away from those classes, to be honest, because this lady doesn't muck around. I learned a lot of my hardcore stuff off her. She's an awesome coach. I'm not saying not to come to class. What I'm saying is don't mess around in her class, okay? I learned a lot of my hardcore stuff off her. So when I was in Aussie, she trained me a little bit. Even back here, she's helped train me a bit and push me. I think it's almost just that little voice, you know. When I was growing up and training with my dad a lot, I had his voice in my head all the time. You know, you have that person's voice, but now it's yours. And it's just from training with her a lot. And it's just things like telling me to go harder and, yeah, like push myself more, especially on the bike. She kind of has this thing when she coaches where she just kind of, it feels like she's looking down on you, but that makes me feel more powerful because I'm like, oh, well, you want me to prove myself to you? You want me to go? And then I'm like, it's burning. What do I do? The amount of times I've asked her to do that. But yeah, I think she's an excellent coach. Look out for her in your classes. Make sure that she's doing a hard job on you. You always want to make sure that the coach is pushing you real hard because you're not going to do it yourself, and that's why you come to the classes, right? Anyways, team, thank you so much for watching this far. If you made it this far into the video, you know what to do. Chuck a young TCT sword down there on the bottom. Pa-ching! Yeah. Oh, I'm going to be making new hats soon with the little X in the middle, the TCT swords, EST 2022. Let's go. And then I'm going to make shirts like that too, because today I deleted my Canva and all the designs. Peace out.